Hey guys, and welcome to another Escape Wheel watch review. Today we're going to be looking at the San Martin SN020, otherwise known as the San Martin Vintage Explorer. So this is obviously a kind of a modern take on a vintage Rolex Explorer. So it's a really nicely done, I think, and we'll get into all the details here in a little bit. I picked this up during the last sale. It was right after they came out, so there wasn't really any good prices on it. Retail price is $258. And I was able to get this for $208 from the iFashion watch store. So I'll leave their link down below. But obviously you can get this from a bunch of different retailers. So they just happen to have the best price on it. So $208. That's a absolute steal, I think. I'm going to run over the specs real quick. You have a sapphire crystal. You have a 316L stainless steel case, solid bracelet, solid end links, milled clasp. It's got a screw down crown, and it's 100 meters water resistant, and it runs a Seiko NH35. So we'll touch base on all that stuff throughout the review. I just had some people ask about that, and I figured I'd get it out of the way right away. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into the review. So first things first, start with the dimensions as always. So I'm getting a 38.8 millimeter case diameter. We got 20 millimeter lug width. We got a thickness of 12.8, and that includes that top hat sapphire. And we've got an overall lug to lug of 47.6 millimeters, and because this thing has the female end links, it wears that 47.6 millimeters. So it's really compact dimensions, I think. In my opinion, they nailed it. I know people are waiting for their 36 millimeter version, which is coming out soon. But I think, you know, with the turn down to these lugs, how they got it, they just nailed it for my wrist size. So I'm going to go outside right now and throw it on my wrist. So here it is on my 7.5 inch wrist. Again, I mean, just the size of these things is just perfect. That 39 millimeters, I think it looks great on me. Not too big, not too small. Again, you got the nice curve down to the lugs there. It hugs the wrist really nicely. Beautiful play off of the dome crystal. And yeah, I think it just looks excellent. Let's get out in some direct sunlight here. So there it is in direct sunlight. Still just plenty legible. Yeah, maybe not so much when you get right on the sun like that, but yeah, it's still, it looks great, I think. I think they just nailed this watch. The finishing is just superb. Yeah, let's throw it on a couple straps and we'll get back to the review. Here it is on a canvas strap. Really nice, simple strap. But I think it looks really good on it. And here it is on that vintage Vario brown leather strap, which I think looks good on pretty much everything, this one included. Looking really good. Here it is on just a typical nylon double pass strap. So there's two layers underneath the watch, and you can still see that it sits plenty low. This should be really comfortable for the summers. Yeah, I think it looks really good on this strap. Let me know what you guys think. Let's get back to the review. So let's talk about the case finishing on this. So typical with vintage Rolexes, you know, that this is homaging. They've got a kind of a 45-degree angle on the brushing on the top of the lugs. You can see there, really nicely done. And then the transition to a beautiful polished side here, looking absolutely gorgeous. The transitions are just razor sharp, as you kind of expect, and you can see it's not a straight flat or straight sided case. It kind of bulges a little bit, and so that's one of the reasons, I guess, that this was a little bit more expensive than some of the other watches. Is just the case finishing on it is it's at another level. I mean, it is absolutely perfect, just gorgeous. The case back on this is typical with San Martin, very plain case back, no writing at all on it. It's that, you know, Rolex style case back. I'm not a big fan of that. I wish they would just use regular case back, but it is what it is. And then you got a circular brushing on the bottom of the lugs there. But all the transitions on this thing are just so sharp, very nicely done. Yeah, I have no complaints with the case finishing on this thing. The bezel on it, as you can see here, it's just a simple polished bezel. Almost wish they would have gone with a brushed bezel on this, but yeah, I think it looks really good. The crystal on this, so that's A beautiful crystal. It's a piece of double dome sapphire. It's a top hat style. You can see you do have a little bit of distortion there, so you can that tells me that even though it is double dome, they're not domed at the same curvature. So you do get a little bit extra light play on it, and yeah, I mean it looks gorgeous. I mean that top hat, I mean it's got to be a 1.5 millimeters, maybe 2 millimeters. So that 12 millimeters thick is really more like 10 or 11 probably. But yeah, it looks so good. No real complaints about it. It's got anti-reflective coating as well, so it's nice and legible, and yeah, I think it looks great. The dial on this thing, it's a matte black dial, and all the indexes are painted on with the old radium C3, and it looks great. There's no printing errors or anything like that. You've got a white minute tracker on the outside. You have that old style San Martin script, and then automatic 100 meters down at the 6 o'clock position. Just the classic Rolex Explorer 369 dial layout with the triangle at 12 o'clock. I think everything looks great. The hands on it, again, just perfectly sized. I think that hour hand, the Mercedes part of the hour hand, might be a little bit, just a tad too big, but I don't think it looks bad. It's just something that just looks a little funny to me. But overall, I'm very happy with it. The hand size is, I think, perfect. I mean, look at that second hand reaching all the way out. Just perfect. Yeah, very happy with this. And all the old radium coloring that you see here is lumed, and the lume on this is pretty good. It's not great, but it's pretty good. So here you can see it against a couple other San Martins. We got the San Martin sub on the left, and then the older San Martin Flieger on the right hand side, and you can see that it holds on pretty good. It's not quite as good as the BGW9 on the San Martin sub, but it definitely is a strong contender, and it lasts all through the night, so you're not going to have any problem reading this. And yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with the lume. So let's talk about the movement in this thing. So first off, it is a NH35 operated by the 3 o'clock crown, and you can see it is a signed crown with that kind of blocked off S. It's an interesting look. Not a huge fan of that S, but it is what it is. It doesn't bother me, but yeah, just thought I'd mention that. So like I mentioned, it is a screw down crown. You get a nice satisfying pop out right there. And that first position, like I mentioned, it is an NH35, so you do have a ghost date position back there. Not a huge fan of ghost date positions, but honestly, it never really bothers me. You pull it out to the third position, second hand stops, it does hack, it does hand wind. The accuracy on this one has been plus 3 seconds a day, so really accurate. I've got no problems with the NH35. I know at $258, almost $260, you kind of want to see something other than an NH35. But I think with a PT5000, this watch would be in the $300 range. So, yeah, you know, it's the NH35. It's hard to complain about a watch like, or a movement like that. So, yeah, I'm happy with the NH35. I know some people won't be, but I'm pretty happy with it. So let's talk about the bracelet. So the bracelet on this thing, it's an all brand new bracelet. They finally did female end links, which we've been waiting for a long time, and they absolutely nailed it. So the one thing that I'm not a huge fan of with this kind of angular brushing on the top of the lugs is that it doesn't match the vertical brushing on the bracelet. So that's just one thing to note. Overall, it's not a big deal, not a deal breaker by any means. But the end links in here are just, I mean, they're perfect. They're super solid. You can see they don't quite go to the end of the lugs, which, you know, keeps it a little bit shorter. I'm very happy with that. You do have this unusual kind of raised bit there, but it all flows nicely. I mean, just everything looks, I mean, it's pretty close to perfect. So, again, no complaints on it. The bracelet tapers from 20 down to 16 millimeters at the clasp. You have a beautiful 3-piece fold-over clasp, all milled, very solid action, nice and satisfying to use. You have the beautiful San Martin script here. It's like an applied logo. Looks really good. You've got the brushing on the top of the clasp as well as on the side, and you've got these really nice polished chamfers that run on all three of these sides here. Really nicely done. There's no sharp edges or anything on it. It's a super comfortable clasp. You do have 4 micro adjusts there. Unfortunately, there's no like quick extension. I wish they would put that on these things because that's so nice. But I'm still able to get a good fit with it. I just really like that extra quick extension for sweaty days. Typical with San Martin, you do have really nicely done screw links for adjusting. I think I removed 3 links for my 7.5-inch wrist, so this should fit up to 8-inch wrist, probably 8.25 maybe. Yeah, overall though, I am just extremely happy with the bracelet. Just the finishing on it is just, I mean, it's just incredible. Yeah, super happy with it. I'm struggling to find something that I don't like about it. Yeah. So there's a bracelet. It's really nicely done, and I can't wait to see some more female end-link bracelets from San Martin. What about any quality control issues? I had absolutely none. This thing came in, and it's, I mean, it's been perfect. No complaints at all on it. So there you have it. That's the San Martin SN020. Really happy with it. I like the size that they chose. I like the old radium lume. The old font here, I think, looks great. And at $208, I think it's an absolute instant buy. You know, even $230, I think, is still a really good deal. $260 it's getting up there a little bit, but I mean, it's, you know, try and find something similar to this for $260 and you're not going to find anything. So not at least not anything that looks this good. So like I mentioned, if you want to purchase one of these things, I'm going to leave a couple store links down below. I bought it from the iFashion store. They were great. I had no problems with them. If you want to see some more pictures of this, make sure to check out my Instagram. That'll be down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up. That helps all the algorithms and all that stuff. And yeah, I absolutely love this watch. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, drop them down below. I'll make sure to get back to you guys. I think that's about it. I think that covered everything. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. See ya.